everybody, and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby. Thanks for joining us. Here we are, Tuesday already, and as always, we are live at 1 and 5. We've got an exciting launch party coming for you a little bit later on, actually. Loads of great launches that you might have missed recently. We're going to cram those into a 2-hour show, including the Lakeside Stamp Collection. We've got the half creator card dies, sentiment top pad, and more. You'll find all of those goodies for you over on the launch party show later on. This is a 1-hour masterclass where we're going to be concentrating on that fantastic Easter collection, which we'll get into in just a few moments' time. But loads of crafty shows for you over the course of this month. Loads of brand new launches coming your way as well, because we are celebrating National Craft Month. It is all month long, so to celebrate that, not only new launches, loads of inspiration, but loads of great deals for you over on the website as well. So wherever you go, .com.co.uk or .eu, you will find a little section, and this week we are all about giving you extra discounts on your paper craft. So you use this code down here, Nookum Paper, or NCM paper, and you'll get 30% off selected items. It's really simple to do. There is a section designated to that code on the website. Go into it. There's tons and tons of great deals, some exceptional deals, and actually, as we were chatting about last night, some deals which potentially I think might have slipped through the net and shouldn't even be there. But don't you worry about that. Use that 30% code, and as I always say, for those of you like, oh, what can I use it on? Just whack it in. If you're shopping with us, put it in the code little box when you check out, and if it will apply, it will apply. It is NCM paper. Not just me, of course, here for this hour. I'm delighted to say I'm back with my crafty bestie. Even after our antics yesterday, they've let us do it again today. I mean, I'm as surprised as anybody, but I'm delighted to say that he's here, the one and only, all the way from Carnoustie. It is Mr. Craig Laird. How are you?
I'm good, but I'm surprised as well. It was one of those mornings where I woke up, you know, when you check the work emails and it's like that. I'm just like, oh, I'm away to get dragged into something here. But no, we're fine. We're all right. Okay, you get that little bit of a rest tomorrow with myself, because we've got Sheena tomorrow, and then I'm back with Ben the Thursday, Friday. But yeah, this is a 1-hour masterclass when it comes to the Easter collection, and potentially the last chance to get the Easter collection.
Yeah.
As we deem closer into Easter time, we're going to have future launches coming, and therefore we're not going to be looking or featuring Easter. So with this collection here, what I absolutely love about this, for instance, that one there, Ben, that cross, just to say you can only get that via Crafters TV, that cross here.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean Easter. You know, you can come along with, you know, your Holy Communions or new birth, or of course it could be your christenings, anything like that, religious occasions. It's really good to use them for that. But then because you've got some stamp sets in there, you can then start to build up the florals with maybe your floral creations. You can start to do your domed effect that you can see. Maybe you just want to use the stamp set. Now, when it comes to the stamp set that you'll see with Ben and then myself just shortly, out of all the stamps, the only one that really says Easter is the word Easter.
Yeah.
The rest of them you can start to use all throughout the year if you want to.
Yeah.
You've got the Easter egg, which we're going to be using in a moment. It's an Easter egg that cuts in and cuts out. So you've got the little bunny rabbit.
Aww.
But then look how elegant it is. If you start to team them with your luxury cardstock, bringing in some of your own pattern paper at home, nothing stopping you from using your template libraries if you want to. But these are just beautiful dies. With it being all about Easter, what I really love about it as well, it's the size of the collection, Ben. It's not too big. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's that in between for Easter, but lots of the elements, other than the Easter stamps, but predominantly they all have Easter in some form on them. All the other dies you're going to be able to use all throughout the year, Ben.
Absolutely right. We'll say a few of those and then I'll show you around the showstopper and indeed the collection on its own. What I will say is, whichever one you go for, you've got to be quick, because it's going to be the last time that you see this, I think. I'll tell you, we've got 40 of these remaining, right? 40. It is limited stock officially, so whether you go for the showstopper or just the collection on its own, you're going to have to be quick. I'll say a few of those in a second, actually. Let me just show you again what you're going to be getting. The showstopper is brilliant, brilliant value for money. If you've ummed and ahed about this, if you've thought, shall I, shan't I think you need to be making a decision, maybe not in this show, but definitely today. It is going to disappear. You're going to get in this set, this beautiful set of dies. This is lovely, actually, because yes, that is very Easter, but also if you're just looking for a really cute sort of springtime card, you know, nothing too Eastery about that. You can take the bunnies out if you want. You've got a beautiful aperture with the foliage. And as we discussed as well, you know, great if you want to do some Easter craft with the kids. You've got that egg shape die there, so you can cut those out, get the kids creating their own cards. And as a few of you were chatting about when we launched, flip that the other way up, you've got a balloon, so you can do little balloon cards. You can make your own bunting as well. Lots and lots of possibilities with that. This is a beautiful, beautiful die. This one, of course, is the Miracle of Easter. It wasn't featured anywhere else, so it was exclusive to us here on Crafters TV. I think potentially one of the most beautiful dies I've seen. You know, like Craig was saying, for all of your sort of you know, religious cards, yes, for christenings, for baptisms, all those kind of things, but a really, really standout set of dies that you've got. And you've got 4 within that set, so lots of possibilities. Also within that set, you've got this cross, which is your floral cross. So again, a bit more of a create a card die as we know it, in the fact that you've got your detailed inner die, you've got that outer die as well if you want to cut it out as a panel. Lots of opportunities there for shakers, for colouring, for paper piecing. And then you get your stamp. So you've got that beautiful Joy stamp set. There's another one of these gone. We've got 39 of these. Scrap what I said earlier on. This is going to be gone by the end of the show. Very busy. I know people are putting this into their baskets now. You've got to grab it if you want to get it. Once it's gone, it has gone. Joy, 5 stamps, and then you've got some beautiful foliage sprigs there. You've got your Easter, and then you've got that peace stub there too. And like Craig was saying, you've obviously got that Easter stamp there, but if you're just looking for a really lovely stamp to use year round, you've got it with that Joy, and then 8 stamps featured in your sentiments. And again, this is really lovely because you've got loads of Easter wishes, have a happy Easter, hoping your Easter is extra bright and happy this year, happy Easter and God bless. And you've got some little verses in there too, so you've kind of got like the outside of your card covered and then that inner verse covered too. £48 or $64 doesn't tell its own story because the showstopper is bringing you all of these other goodies. So you're going to get a set of our multi-purpose cards, 60 sheets of that. You're also going to get your craft cardstock included in there too. Plus, alongside that, you're going to get a set of our classy pens, 12 in there in total, of course. That is your pastel set. Normally, you would pay an extra £45 or $62 for all of that. You're paying £15 or $20, which is pretty much just covering the cost of those pens. It's a great bundle. Jump in and grab. As I've said, whether you're shopping just for the showstopper or if you're just shopping for the collection on its own, that's going to come off the $39.38 that we've got remaining, so you've got to be quick. If you just want the collection on its own, it's £36 or $48. Shop quickly, friends. And the good news is, of course, if you shop now, chances are, with the way that we are shipping these out, this is going to be with you in good time for this Easter, so you're going to have the opportunity to get crafting and make those Easter cards for all of your friends and family this year, and of course for Easters to come. Few quick hellos, because I know we've only got an hour. Mary Beth Doyle joins us from Minnesota. Sarah Brown says, hello again, my favourite boys. Me and
hello, you flaming gala.
It's the Ben and Craig Show. We are in for some great fun, sending everyone loads of love and hugs from Melbourne, Australia. Carlessa Morrison from Arkansas. Teresa Campbell's in. Michael Adams says, good afternoon from Stephanie and Akil. Hello to Lois in Ohio. Lynn Marie in West Michigan. And Kat Butt.
Hey, Kat.
Hi, Ben, Craig, Susie team, and crafty family around the world. Christine Mahoney says, hello, everyone. Ben and Craig. Inspire me, Craig, says Christine. I love this set and I have it. It's gorgeous. Linda Fitzsimmons is in. Michelle's in. And Cindy Condy says, morning all. Been having fun watching Sarah, now Ben and Craig. Fun times whilst crafting birthday cards. The good news is for you guys, right? As we're well aware, right, HSN Craft Day, show's going on through the day. I know a lot of people will be watching there, a lot of people watching here, but you've got the opportunity to sneak in. Whilst they're over there looking at what Sarah's up to, they're going to miss out on this. So you grab it whilst you're here, take advantage of the deals, and any questions you've got for Craig, if you've already got this kit, fire them in, and we'll make it a nice, interactive 50 minutes. Let's get on over to the main man, because I know he's got a couple of demos up his sleeve. What are you going to start with?
Well, in actual fact, I've gone sleeveless again today, Ben. That's 2 days in a row. 2 days the springtime, so I've done away with the jumpers for now.
Yeah.
Although I did get up this morning, I thought, actually, do I need to bring the jumpers back out? But yes, sleeveless. But yeah, let's dive in. I've got a couple of demos, as you said. So let's start with the Easter egg. Really, really good. Really, really handy to have the Easter egg. What I've done is I've taken some of that white card here, Ben, and I've also taken some of the baby blue Centura Pearl that we do. And I'm going to use just the outer edge. Now, as you said, a great silhouette, of course. It's good for a balloon. Turn it around, or an alien's head. Go in
Yeah,
with your green
head.
and your black.
Halloween.
There you go, Halloween time. So for that, all that I'm doing is I'm going to cut that into my Centura Pearl. So if I pop that into place here, now because that is quite a simplistic die, Ben, I'm going to do base plate,
Yeah.
I'm going to do frosted and then top plate. I'm not going to put my magnetic in for that one because it won't need it because it's a very simplistic die. And then that then, of course, is then going to cut the outer edge. Or, of course, it could then be a shaker if you wanted to be with that aperture with it in the middle. So if I take that out, and then that is the layer that I'm wanting. So let's take the decorative die. Now, I'm not going to use the bunny rabbit, but what I love with this Easter egg die is it's also a create a card. Now, that means that it's then just going to cut within my card. So let's take my low-tack tape. So if I use that die on its own, it's going to cut into that cardstock. Actually, I tell you what, we've got just a little bit of time, so let's do that. So base, frosted for this, because there's a little bit of detail, I'm going to put my magnetic in, and then we're going to run that one through. So if you're one of the very new viewers to us at Crafters TV and you're not kind of familiar with create a card, cut in, cut out, what exactly does that mean? Then that means if you then use the die on its own without that outside edge, that means, Ben, it's going to cut within your cardstock. So that's then going to take your card, whatever size it is, and that's going to cut inside. But maybe you want to do what I'm going to do here, and that is cut it out. I want to release it. So those two dies, I can create the actual outer layer. I can cut into my card. But if I use the two dies together, and usually what I would do, Ben, is I would use both dies together. I'm only doing this separate just to show you how it can cut in or it can cut out. But all that we need to do is put that outer die. We're going to go back in with our plates, frosted. I'm taking out the magnetic again because it's a simple shape. And then we're going to run that through. So two dies, but three different options that you've got. So if you've got your larger die cut machine, if you've got something like the Pro and you're doing a big scrapbook page, then you can create that aperture of that Easter egg, any part of your large cardstock that you want. So I've done exactly the same, two dies together, and I've done that within the craft card that you've got within the bundle. So I'm going to take my dotty tape runner, and I'm going to go over the back of the white cardstock. So let's take just a little bit of scrap here to the side, and I'm going to go around the outer edge, but you've got these really, really light and delicate filigree detail within the foliage. So what you're wanting to do then is you're just wanting to lightly just hold down with your finger just while you're pulling your dotty tape runner, because you don't want to snap any of them off. If you do, don't worry, you can just tuck them back in. But to avoid that, you're just holding down the die, and then you're bringing and pulling the dotty tape runner towards you. So we're just going to add that in there. And then we're going to bring back in the craft card, and we're going to do our drop shadow. So I like to hover right over the top, and I pull slightly down to the bottom right-hand corner. So hover over the top, and then I just pull down ever so slightly to the bottom right-hand corner. I'm then going to use my pokey tool just to manipulate these little bits to give me that drop shadow. And if we pop them in, work our way round before we come along, and then just commit by pressing, press that in, and now we've got that drop shadow. So it gives you that nice silhouette, that drop shadow that you can just see the craft against the white. And then for that one, we're going to do the same again with the dots, and we're going to layer that onto that base of the Easter egg, Ben.
Morning to Michelle, who's joined us. Polly's joined us as well, saying fabulous day to all from Blountstown, Florida. Hello. I know a few of you are watching here and also elsewhere as well. I hope we're on the big screen, guys. Come on, get your priorities. We must surely, these guys.
You would have thought so, wouldn't you?
You would have thought, wouldn't you? We're on the big screen. I would have thought, aren't we? Teresa says, hello, gentlemen. Hello.
Hello.
I bet we're on your big screen, Teresa. And Joe says, hi, Craig, Ben, and the team. Best wishes from a cloudy Heston in London. Yeah, top team for you today. We've got Jamie on the 1s and 2s. And we've also got the big dog. Producer Johnny's back, steering the good ship Craft for, I was going to say for one day only, but it's not actually, for today, tomorrow, and
Friday.
All hands to the pump, isn't it, over the next few days with everything going on. Everyone working very, very hard.
It's all go.
Crafty content everywhere. It is all go, isn't it, Craig?
It is, yeah. Between HSN America, Crafters TV, QVC UK, it is all go. All go back and forwards between the studios. Jake and Tracy are in going back and forwards as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, all hands on deck.
Exactly right. We might be a small team, but always working hard.
Always working hard. In between shows, beavering away, getting things done. I'm trying to get caught up with upcoming Craft Club preps between shows.
Yeah.
I've got my QVC UK preview tomorrow night on the Crafters UK preview page, so I'm trying to get bits of prep done for that as well. So yeah, we like to use our time well, so we do.
We do. Know what I'm doing in between shows?
What are you doing?
Sitting on the sofa.
Sitting on the sofa.
Yeah.
You've earned that right. You've earned that right. You've earned that right. You absolutely have.
I'm going to watch and give you a round of applause as you get prepping in between shows.
You do that. You do that, and I'll take the round of applause. Now, what I've done there, Ben, is I've taken a little piece. This was from our Delightful Daisies 12 by 12.
Oh, yeah.
And I've stamped the Joy. So that stamp, the Joy stamp, is all one stamp. So I've just stamped it out. But what I'm going to do, and I've already done these, but I'll do one of them. We're just going to cut them out. Now I'm going to work my way round, but what I do want to do is I want to leave that outer black edge. So I'm going to get rid of some of that excess cardstock just to make it easier. So we're going to work our way round, get rid of it, and then we're going to cut. So we're going to follow our scissors all the way round, work our way up to the top, and we're following inside. So we're just traveling and working our way around. So I'm keeping my scissors still, but I'm moving my left hand that's holding the pattern paper. We're traveling around, and then once we get to that intersection, we're just working and traveling, following it around. So we're left with that outline of the black. If you do accidentally cut it off, don't worry, just go in with your black art liner and then just fill it back in. But we've got the Joy with the black outline. What I will also do is, I'm not going to do this all, but I'm going to show you something like a little aperture. We sometimes get asked, Ben, how or what's the best way to do that? So for anything like a little aperture, what I would do is just take a craft knife and just get rid of that intersection, so you've got somewhere to pop your scissors.
Okay.
Once again, I'm going to take away that excess.
You always tend to use your smaller snips as well, don't you? Yeah.
Always.
Because I know one of the Debbies tends to use like one of the larger pairs, doesn't she?
Yes, she does, yeah. And there's no right or wrong, it's pure comfort.
Right.
I remember, I've said this a couple of times, ages ago, and I'm not being judgmental here, but a number of years ago on another shopping channel, the demonstrator said, when you're fussy cutting, large or small, you must always use large scissors. That's wrong. Use what you feel comfortable. If you don't, like me, if you don't feel comfortable using large scissors for fussy cutting, you're not going to get a good result.
No.
So use what you feel comfortable. So that's how I would do the aperture of a letter, a word, or whatever I'm cutting. And then once I've done all of that, I have got, and I've already got foam pads on the back, so I'm not going to pop them down just yet, but I've got the J, the O, and the Y. So you can do that pattern paper, you can do that cardstock, linen, whatever you want. Vellum would look lovely, but we're going to start to build that together. And remember yesterday, Ben, I was showing you how you could easily turn a 6x6 card into a 7x7 or an 8x8. So there's my base layer here, 5x5. So that could really simply go onto a 5x5 cardstock. The white was 4.5 by 4.5. I've given myself a little border from the craft card using my guillotine, and then my actual baby blue Centura Pearl is 5 by 5. So that could really, really, really simply be a 5 by 5 card. So if I pop this on here just now, and this will give you that indication as to how we can start to build our card bigger in a moment.
Okay.
I'm just going to go, let me take just a couple of other foam pads here.
Ruth Miser's just joined us to say afternoon. Afternoon.
Afternoon.
And Emma Bailey says, hi, Ben and Craig. Abby says hi.
Oh, Bailey. Yeah. Oh, hi.
Emma. Bailey. Emma Bailey and Abby. Yeah.
Abby.
Oh, yeah, Abby.
They're saying hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Abby.
Hello.
I'll say hi, Emma, too.
You better do. Oh, they were saying hi from the gallery as well.
We're all saying hi.
Hello.
Saying hi.
Anne's joined us as well, saying, it's rainy and gloomy here in Connecticut. Perfect weather for vegging out all day and watching crafts. It is certainly what you want to do.
What a lovely way to spend the day, isn't it?
And plenty of crafting options for you today as well.
Plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty galore.
It's not too bad of a day out there today here in the northeast. A little bit chilly.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, it's 8 degrees, sorry. I'll take that back. It's tropical for the northerners. Producer John, he's in the gallery in his Bermuda shorts. Yeah, which is a change because he's normally in his Speedos when it gets this warm, so thank goodness he's kept the Bermuda shorts on today.
Won't be long till the spring and summer season's here, we can get the shorts on.
Yeah, I can't wait. I took a leaf out of your book last year because I never used to wear shorts, and you always tend to wear shorts in here, don't you, when it gets warm?
Yeah, because when it comes to the studio, it's that one extreme to the other. In the winter time, it can be really cold. Despite, of course, all the lights, it can get really quite cold because it's a shell. But then in the summertime, it's the complete opposite, and it can get absolutely roasting. Because you can never really see any lower, of course, then it just means we can get away with shorts.
What's Craig wearing down below today? New segment for the show.
What's
Coming
Craig
to my
wearing?
YouTube page. What's Craig wearing?
That could be a new social segment, couldn't it? Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
What's he wearing? What's he wearing? So it's like, how far back can you get?
Hey!
And then give it away at the end. Give it away at the end, yeah. Now I've taken another piece of the Delightful Daisy pattern paper and I've cut that to 5.5 by 5.5. I've popped it onto a little matte layer from the craft card, and also another layer that we've got here from the baby blue. So the baby blue I've cut to 6 by 6. So there we can go from our 5 by 5 card blank. Pretty. We can then go straight then onto creating a 6 by 6 card blank. Yeah. So let's add these on.
I'm liking this new hack that you're showing us.
I show it periodically, and I like to show it because I do get asked quite a lot. I know many of you guys, certainly stateside, you prefer your smaller cards because of the cost. You know, don't get me wrong, the cost in the UK is quite bad as well, but not as bad as you guys stateside. But when you're used to making smaller cards, sometimes you want a nice little easy hack to make bigger cards. So with this way it shows you we've gone from 5 by 5. We've then really, really easily, with mats and layers, and that's all that it takes, mats and layers, we've then gone on to 6 by 6. Yeah. But then what we can do really, really easily, with no additional mats and layers, because I like the look of a white frame, we can now turn this into a 7 by 7 card, because we've got that white framework and we've got the 3 options. And that's how you can go really easily from a smaller card to a larger card. As always as well lately, I'm trying to finish off with an insert.
So question for me.
Yeah.
So I did Debbie's craft along last week, and it was basically she created a piece of home decor.
Yep.
But I didn't add the ribbon to mine as a wall hanger, and I did mine slightly smaller. So I basically created like a card front, which was 6 by 6. If I then decided to myself, oh, actually, that would be quite good for a Mother's Day card and wanted to pop it into a card, could I then put that 6 by 6 onto, say, like a... Well, what would be the optimum size then to put that onto like a card, like a 7 by 7?
7 by 7. So if you were doing 7 by 7, I would just pop it straight onto a 7 by 7.
Right, yeah.
If you were doing 8 by 8, Ben, what I would probably do is give it another mat and layer with whatever colour card that Debbie had used.
Okay.
So but it depends. You might like a big, thick, white mat and layer. Don't complicate it with stamps and die cuts and whatever. Just do simple mats and layers to then expand the card. So you can do it that way. Yeah. And then to finish off, I've just created some flowers, Ben, from our floral creations.
Oh, yeah.
So let's take these. I'm going to bring in my glue gel, and I'm just going to work my way. The cardstock that I used for the flowers were the spring and the summer from the actual floral creations.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do top and bottom here.
Beautiful.
And then just this tiny little one, I'm going to do one there, and then one here, each side by side. Any florals or embellishments, I tend to use my glue gel. So we're going to add that to here. So keeping with the blues and the whites, but incorporating that craft cardstock. Move that in, move that down, manipulate that in. I've got a couple of leaves, so let's take one leaf, and then I'm just going to tuck underneath there. I'm going to take the next one, I'm just folding that in, giving it a bit of shape. That one I'm going to tuck underneath here, move that in. Then my favourite die out of all of them, I'm just going to pull these apart, and then what we can do is just use these as little tuck-ins.
Yeah.
We can use the glue that's already underneath, tuck that in. That one I'm going to go into there. Don't be afraid to overlap your florals because you'll still see the florals. We're just going to move and budge that in, and then take this last one here. I'm just going to then tuck that one underneath there as well, kind of like the skeleton sort of foliage.
Beautiful.
And then there we go. We've got our from 5 by 5 to 6 by 6 to now 7 by 7. And we've just used the stamp and the dies with simple mats and layers with the craft and the white that's within that collection.
Absolutely brilliant, that, isn't it? And again, I think a great way to show you that you can use this for, you know, springtime projects. You don't always have to think, oh, this is just definitely Easter. It's not. It's Easter and so much more. That's the die that Craig was using there with the little rabbits and the foliage, and then you've got that egg-shaped aperture. But as we've already chatted about, could be a balloon. Could use it for Halloween as a little. I love that idea, using it as like an alien head. Think out the box a little bit with these, and this is a collection that you'll use in lots of different ways. This one here, that beautiful floral cross, again, your sort of standard creator card setup, if you like, really simple and easy to create, but a really, really stunning finish. And then you've got the beautiful Miracle of Easter die set, this one exclusive to us here on Crafters TV. All of these different components to create, you know, lots of different beautiful projects, whether you're just using the background, whether you just want to use the cross on its own, cutting it in, cutting it out, loads and loads of different ways to be able to use that. Then you're going to get all of your sentiments as well. So the sentiments are, again, mainly Easter based, but you have got a few there you could use elsewhere. Love the fact that you've got sort of longer verses in there too that you can pop into the middle of your card, maybe on your insert. And you've also got that joy that Craig was using just there is included in your second stamp set. All of that is in the collection. All of that is in the showstopper as well. We've got about 35 left now, I think, of that showstopper. If you want to go for that, go quickly. You will get on top of it a set of your craft card. You'll get a set of the multi-purpose card, and also those classics, the 12-piece pastel collection in the classics. £45 or $62 extra is what you should pay. You're paying just an extra £15 or $20. Snap that up like it's going out of style, because the collection you'll use this Easter and next Easter and the Easter after that and beyond. And then, of course, as we've shown you, it's a collection that you can use elsewhere too. Those crosses, if you are perhaps, I don't know, making cards maybe for your local church, you'll be using those time and time and time again. And just to remind you, once this has gone, it has gone. That's it. And if you're buying the collection on its own, that does also impact the stock of your showstopper. Morning to Laurie Barnett, who says good morning from Gilbert, Arizona. And Susie says hi, Ben and Craig and all my crafty friends, and to whoever is in the gallery. It's Johnny and Jamie. It's beautifully sunshiny here today and -4 degrees in Prince Edward Ireland. And hi to Sarah, who says such a pretty card. Listen, we've got some great deals for you on other items as well on this show. The Colorista art markers, if you are after the opportunity to perhaps try out some alcohol markers, or maybe you want to get the kids into their colouring as well, and you want to use like good quality pens, but maybe you don't want to go to the expense potentially of things like our classics. Maybe you don't want to be buying those for the kids and the grandkids yet. These are absolutely brilliant. And as Leanne was sort of describing to us when we had these on a little while back, don't think of these as kind of like a cheaper alternative, if you like, maybe a little bit more entry level, but the difference that you've got between, say, these and our Spectrum Noir ranges, a lot of the thing is all about the nib that you're going to be getting. But with these, you've got beautiful colours, dual-ended alcohol markers once again. So you have got your fine nib, you have got your brush nib in there as well, but you've got the opportunity to get working with these in these beautiful pastel colours. So you've got like your tea rose in there, you've got moonlight, you've got that beautiful light yellow, you've got your chartreuse, you've got duck egg, you've got your blue, pearl blue, your blossom, and also your sorbet in there as well. So everything that you would want to do with your more expensive alcohol markers, you could do here as well, but it's a really great way to get in. Give them a try. Well, for a little price, £6.47 or $7.19 might be a nice Easter gift for the kids to get them going and get them crafting and colouring with you this Easter. Also on a great deal today are shimmer ink pads. You're saving almost £20, almost $35 on the full 10-piece collection. This is the original collection of our shimmer ink pads with that sort of pearlescent silver sheen that you're getting. Going to give you that really bright, vibrant, intense metallic sheen with each and every one of these that you use. And of course, you know what? You're going to be able to blend with these. You're going to be able to layer with these. All of the things that you would expect to be able to do with your pigment ink pads, you can do and more. And of course, the nice thing about these as well is that you've got those beautiful vibrant colours, nice ergonomic design with these too. So whether you're taking these straight into your cardstock, whether you want to go kind of really big and bold, whether you want to go perhaps sort of fill in smaller areas of your cardstock, you can with that sort of teardrop design. But you've got 10 colours, so we're going to give you lime soda, you're going to get queen bee, you're going to get your peach rose, tropic blue, amethyst, frosty mint, ooh, raspberry, sugar plum, toffee apple, and starlit sky. So that is your 10. £3.20 a pad if you're platinum, or $4.40. Really great price. Stock up on those if you've not yet tried them. Great day to buy. And it's one of those products that goes in and out of here every day. We don't need to be giving you huge discounts like that, but we do because we love you. And also, we do. Snap these up, because no word of a lie, these go in and then they sell out. Then you go, oh, I want to get the ink daubers. We get them back in, right? And then they go out again. Then you go, oh, I missed them again. If you need the ink daubers, grab them, because you're going to get your 40 ink daubers plus, plus you're going to get the case to store them in. You may, do you know what I love about these is you've got Debbie Fisher, who's like this, one on each finger, and you've got him who sticks it on the end of his
my water spritz.
Of his water spritz, because it's a really good tip, this, because it may well be that you want to use these and you perhaps don't find them that comfortable to put on your fingers, or maybe they don't fit. If that's the case, oh, hello, there you go. Pop that on the end of there.
I just find, for my finger, they're just a little bit too tight. They fit on my finger, but they're just a little bit too tight and a little bit too snug.
I'll try.
You try. See what I mean?
No, well, mine were actually. Let's have a look at your...
But you see, I have to protect my foam pad finger.
Ah, that's what it is.
Yeah, so insured.
Is it?
Actually, Johnny, I had to up it to 1.5 million.
1.5 million his fingers are insured for.
Yeah.
So you do that, do you?
So I just pop it onto the end of my water spritzer. So then it means I can then blend, I can dab, and I can daub onto the side.
Dab and daub. Just, oh yeah, like that, Johnny. That's why he's paid the big bucks. Speaking of dabbing and daubing and housey, Thursday. Eyes down, look in. Here comes your first number.
Legs 11.
Bingo cartload. It's going to be amazing. Can I just ask a question as well?
Of course you can.
With these, do you get 40?
Okay.
How many of these do you have? Because I know the question we often get asked is, okay, well, if I've got, say, all of my different ink pads, do I need a different one of these for each of the different ink pads? Do I need a different one for all the different colours? How would you look at doing these if you didn't have them? Would you buy quite a few?
So what I would do with these ones here, personal preference once again, these are brilliant for your pigment ink pads.
Right.
So your pigment ink pads, really good, of course, then if you're using them for stencils. So anything like that, really, really good. If you want to get one each for all of your water reactive, I said your pigment, didn't I? I wouldn't necessarily do quick dry. You know, the purpose of the quick dry is, of course, you know, and without getting into it, you can still layer colour with quick dry. If you're doing it onto a glass mat or a stencil, you can still layer. They're not blendable. So when it comes to the finger daubers, brilliant, of course, for the pigment, but if you want to use them for the shimmer and all that, then you can do. So it's entirely up to yourself if you want one for each.
Excellent stuff. Sarah says, Craig and Ben, off topic, but did you enjoy the Elimination Chamber in Perth?
I'm sorry, yeah, I was just taking a little drink there.
Yeah.
A little drink. Yes, I did. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, really good. Epic crowd in Australia.
Yeah.
Perth, really, really good crowd. So, yeah, that's it. Road to WrestleMania. 33 days now.
33.
Till WrestleMania. Well, maybe be 32, because when I watched Raw last night, it was live.
Oh, don't tell me, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, sorry, I won't tell you. It was good. I've not seen it all. I've only seen about half an hour, but yeah. Yep.
Exciting
And I'm
times.
now off that week.
You what?
Yeah,
Had another week off?
I'd taken the weekend off, and then obviously I was meant to be off earlier on in February, but I asked to change it, which was allowed. But it's now, I'm now off the week of WrestleMania, so that's going to be good.
Nice. Coming soon. And I've got one box of daubers for the water actives and one for the pigment, says Anne. Listen, if you need them, if you need to stock up, get them today. We're very, very busy for these. Flying out the door at £15.99 or $21.11. Can't believe the time. We've got about 20 minutes left, so we'll have to rattle on, give you opportunity. Are we having a break, are we? Oh, we're not having a break. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. I thought we were having a break.
See these presenter leads?
Sorry about that.
Gosh, us demonstrators, we'll just go hour after hour after hour after hour, not our presentation leads.
When you get to my age, about 37 minutes is as long as you can go. Before you need a break.
Yeah?
Yeah, before you need a break. But, you know, we'll let you crack on. You're going to do another Easter. We've got, right, here we go. Less than 30 of the Easter showstoppers, the Easter collection as a whole. Whether you go showstopper, whether you go for the collection. Producer Johnny says basically he's not packing them away. Get them gone, right? What are you even waiting for? Jump in now, grab them. £48, $64. If you don't want the card stock and the pens to go with it, you can go for the collection on its own. Shop the day for all of that. But get this gone. Once it has gone, it has gone. This is going to be your last opportunity. So please shop now. If there's anything you want to see, anything you want to ask before you grab it, make sure you do it in the next 22 minutes. All right, let's have another excellent demo from Craig.
Right, let's do it. And like one last opportunity to get a hold of it. Let's put it into perspective here. That one, Easter. You're going to be using that for Easter. Yep, every year, every time, Easter time. That stamp, the only stamp you're going to use at Easter time is the one that says Easter time. Every other element, every other die that you've got within this collection, you're going to be able to use all throughout the year, not just Easter time. So please, although it's Easter Showstopper and it's Easter Masterclass, and it's going to work well for Easter, please don't think that that full collection, it's only Easter time. That stamp set is the only one that is predominantly Easter and Easter throughout. All the rest, even that Easter egg shape, you can just use it for all your fancy shapes, you know, your balloons, your aliens, etc., etc. So let's go in with that die here that we've got. So we're going to go in with the Miracle of Easter. So this is the one that you could only get via Crafters TV and Hobby Maker in the UK.
True.
So we're going to take just that die, and I love it because it cuts in, it cuts out. Not only that, the actual cross as well cuts in and cuts out. So we're going to use all of these elements, but what we're going to do, let's take a piece of the white cardstock, and I've cut it to 5.5 by 5.5. We're going to use the die on its own because I want to cut into my cardstock, and we're going to get that as central as possible. So I'm just going to put a little bit, I've just put a little bit of hand cream on my hand a minute ago, which is good because I can kind of de-tack the low tack tape.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just going to press into place. and I'm going to go base plate. There's not a lot of detail, but I'm still going to use my full plate configuration, and we're going to run that one through. So let's say you've not got a Gemini, please do not worry. All of our dies will go through any other branded die cut machine out there in the market, size dependent of course. Other than taking into account the size of the die cutting machine, they're going to work with every single die cutting machine out there. So we've now got the ability to cut into our card, which I want. If we want to release that, Ben, we're going to use that outer die that goes with it.
Yeah.
Let's pop all these bits out into here. Take that one. I'm going to work my way in. If you've got your die brush, then of course you can pop all the bits out. And then what I want to do as well is I want to do a drop shadow with yellow in the back there, but I want a perfect matte layer, which even for me to try and guess that is nigh all impossible.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take your chosen cardstock here. So I've gone in my favourite pastel cardstock. This one's got the linen in there. And I'm going to, get it as central as I can. You don't have to be exact because you'll see why in a moment, but getting it as central, making sure it's quite a bit bigger than your base layer. So we're going to run this through, and as you can see, although my cardstock's bigger than my junior plates, I can still use my junior plates because it's only the die cut that I need. So we're going to layer it up. You've got that overhang, but it doesn't matter because it's the A4 Gemini. If you're using the junior, you wouldn't be able to do it because you're not going to have enough space to take into account the overhang of the card. But if we bring this out, and again, we've only used the cut-in die, we can then pop these bits out, here, here, and then into here. So now what we can do, let's go back to our white layer. And I'm going to go in with my dotty tape runner. Let's bring back in that other bit of cardstock that I did use. And we're just going to pop that on. And I'm just going to go over the die cut intricate detail with my dots here. And we're going to go over the dots. And then I'm going to change to my straight tape runner for the solid. I wouldn't waste my dots onto the flat areas. You've got both tape runners. If you were lucky to get these yesterday in Craft Vault with that 10% saving, then that was a corker of a deal to grab. So now, if we take that out the way, bring this back in. So we're going to focus on the middle there, Ben, and we're going to do our drop shadow. So let's do our drop shadow. Again, I've pulled the white down to the bottom right-hand corner. So I've got that little bit of a yellow, like so. Give that a rub, press, build up that heat. So now that I've got my drop shadow onto the back, we can just see the yellow peeping out. Now what we're going to do is, this is where we're going to, essentially we're going to eyeball this. If you want to use your nesting dies and mats and layers, then of course you can do. But I'm going to use the edge of the finger guard, and I'm visually just going to line up, and in actual fact I can come a lot thinner than that. So we're just going to work our way round, all the way in, and then this is us creating our matting layer. I don't need to worry about cutting my yellow cardstock to the right size and then try and get my centre die in that perfect position. So we've got the drop shadow, we've got our yellow matting layer. And then what I'm going to do, so that's 5 3/4, and that is pretty much bang on 5 3/4, maybe just a little slither. So that's 5 3/4. So now what I'm going to do is bring in a little bit of black cardstock, and let's do just under 6 inch because I only want a really, really thin black matting layer.
Very nice.
Even then, that's just a little bit too thick. And let's take a little slither to pop that on to there. So that's perfect. Now, what I'm also going to do just in a moment, when we start to build this, I've got a little bit of yellow gingham cardstock here, which will go over the place. But of course, I don't want to see that black into the back. So let's take our black cardstock. Let's take our V-blade trimmer. And this is what we're talking about yesterday. This is what you can only do with a trimmer. You can't do with a guillotine.
Oh, yes.
And that's cut out an aperture.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to come in maybe about half an inch. No, let's do 3/4 of an inch in. So I'm going to lift my finger guard. I'm going to pull down and I'm going to come to 3/4 of an inch in, twist and do the same. Pull down, lift, twist. Each time I'm going up, pull in, and then if you've got Mats and Laird's dies, okay, use them. If you've not, then what we've got,
So good.
we've got that perfect frame aperture.
Yeah.
We've got the black Mat and Laird all the way round, but then we can't see it into the middle. So we're going to layer that up with our straight tape runner. So
Anne's just said, Craig always makes drop shadows look so easy, and I have trouble even with simple shapes. Is there any, like, I know you always chat about it, but is there any simple tips that you can give on that? Why make it a bit easier?
When I'm at home and I've got more time, I use wet glue. I use our tacky glue.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. The only reason I use the dots is when we're live on air is because of time. At home, if you use your tacky glue, you've got more wiggle room.
Okay.
So I would definitely say use your tacky glue.
And you just come down to the left a little bit, don't you?
I come down to the left, yeah. You can go, you can go any direction that you want to. It's entirely up to yourself. I just like to go to the bottom right-hand corner. There's no right, there's no wrong way. Have a play, see what you like, and see how it looks visually on your eyes. And then I've taken my card blank. So this is 6.5 by 6.5, just a little bit of yellow gingham cardstock. Now, the only difference here, so that's the one that I've just done and I've showed you how to do. This one, I've just got my foam and I've already got the back off. So nothing different. I've just already got my foam back, and then there's the base. Then let's take our plates again. Let's take our cross die and let's bring in our white cardstock. So the first one we're going to use as the solid layer here, Ben. Tape that in. And I'm just going to go frosted and top plate. So I'm going to do the solid once, and then I'm going to use that solid die and the intricate die, and we're going to die cut that twice, and we'll do a quick bit of colouring before we finish off using the classics that are in the bundle, Ben.
Just dropped in, says Diane, to say hello to Ben, Craig and team and crafty friends. As I'm off to take my furry baby to the vet as she's got poorly ears.
Oh, no.
I hope the poorly furry baby gets well. Probably just be like eardrops or something, wouldn't it?
Hopefully it'll be okay.
Loving the egg-shaped die. As always, your card is beautiful, Craig, says Dan.
Thank you.
And Ruth says, Ben! Ruth! I just got my basket half off. It was $48.96, and then with club and discount, that must be the code, I saved and then paid $24.48. Floral cross, springtime seed, gateway embossing folder, and 9x12 plate storage bag. Yeah, so you've got some items in there that are going to work for that. Down there, NCM paper, 30% off selected paper craft with code. As I said, if you don't want to necessarily go through everything in that category, pop items in your basket, and then the trick is just to put that code in. And if it will work off any of the items that you've got in your basket, so be it. And like Ruth, half price basket and cart. That's what we like to hear. Excellent stuff. And I just had a few people chatting as well about the old bingo cart load on Thursday. It'd be interesting to see, do you guys I don't know if bingo's, is it massive? Is it as massive in the US? Do you still have in the US though, like, because we said legs 11, right? Do you still have all those funny calls? Like for 22 here in the UK, 22 is two little ducks.
Two little ducks.
Yeah. Number 10 is the Prime Minister's den. Do you have all of the rhyming catchphrases?
Yeah, I suppose maybe because some of the rhyme ones would be different, wouldn't they? Because some things will make sense here and not in the UK.
Well, that's a very good point, actually. Like, here, 57, Heinz varieties. 5 and 9, the Brighton line. I know them all, having called the bingo at the holiday parks back in the day.
That was going to be fun.
I don't know if you could do them all nowadays, though. I don't know if you could do them all nowadays. Yeah, our Brent, who used to be here, of course, he's now gone away on the cruise ships, and he calls all the bingo there on a night.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's loving life at the moment, isn't he?
Susie just said she's going to ask her aunties about the bingo sayings because apparently they go every week.
Okay.
So yeah, let us know. Doctor's orders, number 9. I don't know why that was the call, but that's a call. Legs 11. Clickety click.
Clickety click.
66.
Yeah.
Trying to think of any more.
I know, I need to think of some more, eh?
Going to be fun on Thursday.
It's going to be a lot.
You know what it is? Tony's going, it's going to be bedlam. It will be bedlam.
Bedlam.
Yeah, bedlam.
So what I've done there is I used the outer die. I actually didn't need to use both dies together because that actually cuts out as a whole. So I've done 2 of them. One of them I've stuck onto that base, and then 2 of the classics you get in the bundle. I'm going to use vanilla and mimosa, and we're going to go in. This is one of my favourite techniques. I love doing this. Going in, and I don't think our classics have been replaced yet because this is starting to run out. So let's go in with the darkest of the 2. Now you can do a 3-tone blend if you want to. All that I'm doing is just a 2-tone blend. So I'm going in with a dark and a light, and then I'm going to blend them 2 together. He says. Thankfully I do have one that's already done. So what you're going to do in between all of these apertures here, Ben, you're going to colour. I'm going to take a lighter. Now I wouldn't use the light yellow, I would use the mimosa, but I'm only doing it to try and show you how to blend out, and even that one's dried out. That's great.
Would you like to borrow my Colorista markers?
So it's okay actually, I'll just show you this because I know that we've not got a lot of time. What you would do is you would colour in all of the individual sections.
Yeah.
And then once again, you would go along with your dots, or you can use your double-sided adhesive sheets if you want to. And don't worry about going over that outer edge because you're not going to see it. Once you've gone and lay that back direct over the top, you're not going to see any inky lines. It's just containing it all. It's going to look nice, it's going to look seamless, and once you've finished, it's going to look like that.
Fantastic,
So that's each individual section. Then all that I've done, that outer die, I've die cut that into another piece of the yellow, another piece of the black, and done that drop shadow. Let's add our tape onto the back of our cross, like so. That we're going to also do drop shadows. So essentially we've got a triple drop shadow here. We've got the white, we've got the yellow, we've got the black. That one, let's take just a couple. I'm going to add more foam pads once we come off air. It's just to show you how this is going to look. That bin can then go right into the middle. And then what I've also done just beforehand, I'm not going to have time to do it, but I've taken one of the sentiments, Happy Easter.
Yeah.
And what I'm actually going to do, I know we're just a way to run out of time in a minute, but I'm just going to add my tape to the back because I think we really need a very light black layer just to break that up, Ben. It's a little bit to fall. If I just sit that there, can you see how it's just fallen into the back? We need something to break it up. So let's take a bit of black and I'm going to go right to the edge. I'm going to leave myself just a little fine black matting layer. I'm going to bring my guillotine in and let's go.
Have you just stuck that on there then now?
So I've stuck it on,
Okay.
yeah. I've stuck it on. So I've got the top layer, the width that I want, which is just a very shallow matting layer. And this time, cut away some of the excess black cardstock to make it easier for myself. And then there we go. We've got that little fine layer, which is going to break it up. There we go, much better, much, much better. So let's just add a foam pad there and there because we need to take into account the depth that's there. You could come along with your gems, your pearls. That could be a shaker into the backdrop if you want to. Press that in, and then there we go. Or that could be, of course, colour theme for a christening or a new baby. It could be blues, it could be pinks. Or that's a prime example of a new baby card, but you don't know the sex of the baby.
Yeah, very good.
Then go with the yellows,
Yellow's
go with
good.
the ivory. So always say that, you know. Obviously, we tend to say, of course, blue for the boys, pink for the girls. If you're not sure about the sex of the baby, go for like a yellow or an ivory. That's a prime example. Change the sentiment, and then that would be the card.
There you go, everybody. Let us know what you think of that. Absolutely, I think, fantastic project, that one. Thank you so much, Craig, and thank you to everyone for all the lovely comments coming through. Beautiful card, Craig, says Evelyn. Listen, if you want to get this collection, I think we've got less than 20 of these now remaining. You've got to have to be quick. Remember, we've got people buying the showstopper, we've got people buying the collection on its own, and also, producer Johnny tells me that they've got lots of people who are just making their own little bundles and getting the individuals, which you can do. It's all on the shop today. But listen, if budget allows and you want the best value for money, it's the showstopper, but you're going to have to be quick because it is going. Such a versatile die this. You've got the aperture there. It's going to cut out that egg shape, or as we said, flip it around. You've got the balloon shape. You've got that beautiful foliage and the little bunny rabbits. Yes, Easter, remove those. Well, I said I don't even have to remove the bunny rabbits. It can be a springtime card. It can be a card for other times of the year. So that is a really, really useful die set. Really, really fantastic and useful stamp set there as well. That joy, you know, don't have to use the Easter every time, but those little sprigs, the foliage, the little pea stub, the joy, again, a really handy sentiment stamp set to use right throughout the year. And then you've got these fantastic cross dies. Once again, yes, for Easter, but think about all the other events you can use these for year round. That, I think, is one of the most beautiful die sets that we've done, that miracle of Easter, exclusive to us here on Crafters TV. You've also got your sort of standard creator card die, if you like, with your floral cross. And then last, but certainly not least, you've got that set of Easter sentiments for you as well. So nice to have, because I remember back along, maybe go back 2 or 3 years ago, where people said, oh, I haven't really got an Easter collection. We brought you the Easter box, of course, didn't we? Now we've brought you this Easter collection as well. So you have got opportunities here to have a really, really great Easter this year. And if you go for the showstopper, don't forget, you're going to get that 60 sheets of your multi-purpose card. You're going to get craft card stock thrown in there too. And of course, you're going to get your set of classic pens, the pastels. You're only paying an extra £15 or £20, £50 or $20, I should say, for that, when you should be paying an extra £45 or $62. Snap that up. If you wait until the end of the show, definitely worth snapping that up, because it is going to sell out. Massive thank you to Craig. We've got an exciting launch party coming up a little bit later on. We are stacked with product in that show, aren't we?
Oh, we've got loads. We've got the new sentiment topper pads. We've got the everyday half creator cards as well. We've then also got, what demos have I got set up to the side there as well? We've got our new metallic pens as well. We've got a little bit of Sheena as well. It's absolutely stacked full within launch party.
You're going to have to be quick though. It's what we're calling our last chance launch party, because across those goodies like the Sheena Lakeside stamps, the everyday half creator card dies, low stock, that sentiment topper pad, low stock, those embossed frames that we had the other day as well. Not many of those, and the metallic paint markers too. Very, very popular, so make sure you're in nice and early for that. And don't forget, in the meantime, in between shows, you can watch us on 24/7, and you've also got that code which you can use across on the website, 30% off selected papercraft items with the code NCM Paper. As I say, we're back live at 5. In the meantime, you can watch us 24/7, and of course, Sarah's over on 8 to 10 as well, so plenty of crafty stuff to watch. We'll see you back here live at 5. Until then, bye for now.